Good evening. Welcome to the Mancunian way. It's Friday night. It's match preview time. Manchester City take on Bournemouth live at the ETIHAD. And we have VATOR back in the house. How are you, mate?
Excellent, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
He's been a busy boy. He's jumping in and out of streams at the minute, is VATOR.
Oh, I got to get back into it. It was a rough week last week. I couldn't stay involved as much as I wanted to, so I'm making up for it.
Yeah, I must apologise straight away. If you hear a fan, I don't care. You can moan. It's 31 degrees now or something daft like that. It's 10 o'clock at night and it's still red hot and
I'm not hearing it. I don't think it's getting picked up by the
good.
mic.
Well, I know another channel have not streamed because they're waiting for aircon to go in. I don't have that luxury at the moment. So, yeah, I've got a fan going on. Good evening to all. Alec Johnson, how are you, mate? Yeah, hello, Big Morgan MCFC. How are you? Money Duck, back in the house. How are you, mate? Ade, good evening. Thank you for joining me on the space earlier. You and VATOR had some amazing points. Charlie, happy holiday eve to you, mate, before you jet off to sunny Tenerife. Hope you have a blast. Take your sun cream. Trust me, you'll need it. City will be too hot for Bournemouth. Let's hope so. Lesser Blue is in the house. How are you, mate? Hope the family are good. Mingy Wong's in. Hello, mate. Our resident Liverpool fan is here. Good old Yusuf. He's here. Nice top. Yeah, I treated myself today when I got the Manchester City goalie top ready for tomorrow.
Look clean.
Got a nice discount as well. So, Bournemouth at home tomorrow, match day 2. What I want to do is, before we crack on and we get your thoughts, mate, is Bournemouth obviously have played a game, same as us, 2-0 win at home to Villa, which I think a lot of people were a bit surprised. I think a lot of people had Villa to go there and probably get a point at least. Never mind, get nothing out of it. Obviously, goals from Lerma and Moore, funnily enough, at the start of the game and at the end of the game is when they generally got the goals for Scott Parker's boys. But if you look at the stats of that game, it was generally Villa had all the possession, 66-34. Villa had all the shots. But it's just a case of Villa and Bournemouth got their shots on target and they did well. But it's a promoted team. First week or two of the season. I always worry about these. I've heard a lot of people say this is a dead rubber. 6-0, 5-0, 4-0. I've heard it all. I'm not. Am I just being pessimistic here? Or am I just like,
I mean, I don't think it's pessimistic to go to say you don't see a 5 or 6-0. It would be pessimistic to say you don't see us winning the match, I would say. But the confidence is coming from. Honestly, I think the confidence is coming from last week. The fact that Villa did play the way they did, I would argue the stats would probably show in the way they attacked Bournemouth and Bournemouth was home, I believe, that Villa should have had a better result. And given that, and then now replacing Villa for City, and again, more possession, more attack, you would want to favor a better result for City than what Villa had. So I understand the confidence. But they're away from home now, so.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not going to say that I don't think City will beat Bournemouth because clearly we're favourites. If you look at the bookies, and you don't generally get a bookie who's wrong, there were 45-1 this morning. 45 against to beat City at the ETIHAD, which is massive odds. Massive odds. It did drop to 40-1. So nobody's giving Bournemouth an absolute prayer. Now, the thing is with Bournemouth, they finished runners-up in their league last year and they got 88 points. They were 2 points away from leveling with Fulham, who won the league. And all we've heard is how great Fulham are. Fulham, fantastic team under Marco Silva. Wonderful team, wonderful football, going to be a danger. And this is a team who only finished 2 points behind them, and it's a different story. So I'm like, are we not giving Bournemouth enough respect, or is it just the story of a newly promoted team? We should stuff them really with the players we've got.
I mean, Bournemouth deserve the respect. So does Fulham, but it's still Bournemouth and Fulham. Fulham having played Liverpool, now Bournemouth about to play City. These are the two best clubs in the league. So, I mean, we give them the respect, but for them to get a result, I think would be a huge surprise. I haven't studied it close enough to know how trusted Bournemouth should be defensively, because I think that's where they're really going to be tested. Are they going to be brave and come out and try to get possession away from us? And then also, when we do have possession, how sure is their defense going to be? Because we do present a different problem this year with the players that we have up front. So I give them respect, but I'm not fearing them. I'm not fearing them.
Yeah, I mean, what we can look at, we can have a look at. I mean, Pep's obviously done his pre-match press conference today, and he has talked about a few things. There are a couple of niggly little injuries that have come out. Calvin Phillips is out with a niggle. I never understand Pep with his niggle talk. Everything's a niggle.
This niggle is a new word, right? I don't remember hearing.
Oh, he's been using it for 12 months. Everything's a niggle.
That's what I'm saying. Like last season, to close out the season with the injuries, I started hearing this word, and now it's become a consistent thing. So, I mean, I guess we assume it's nothing serious with Phillips, but is it because he's questionable or he's definitely out?
It just says niggle, so you don't know if is that a broken leg or is that when you hear the word niggle, you think, oh, it's a minor thing. Yeah, so he may make the bench, but generally when Pep says niggle, he doesn't play them. So, and Cole Palmer's out with a foot injury.
Now, I hate to see that.
The thing with Cole Palmer, you got to remember, he's still a young lad and he's a tall lad. He's growing into his body. So I think you're always going to get this with Cole Palmer for the next year to 18 months. Mm-hmm. You are so going to deal with it, and you're going to hear about these little niggles all the time with him. And this is why I've always thought he's never going to be the guy who's going to come in and play 20, 30 games straight away, because he's still developing.
Yeah.
How old's Haaland? 21, 22? And he's still developing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I Palmer will get there, but not as he's growing into his body. I agree with you. I think
exactly. It takes time to get these things going. And, I believe the physios, Alex. Like I said, their physios don't lie. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying that. You've always got to remember, I always go back to what Pep did say, though. Pep said last year Stones was out and then suddenly appeared in a game and then went off. So Pep has got previous of not lying, but sort of always being honest at times.
Pep's played that game. He's played that game in the big games, right? He's played the little. I wouldn't count him as playing, and
I love it. I think it's great when he does it, because I think it's like Ferguson used to do it for ages. But he said about the squad here, he said, this is what some exact quotes from Pep's presser. Said, he said, I saw the game. I have a lot of respect for Scott Parker. Their patterns are so clear. We spoke, we've trained, and they're ready. It's very tricky to face promoted teams early, which is something I think me and you spoke about on a space as well earlier today. And the first games are so difficult because of the pressure. They're in a really good, buoyant mood, and they don't have anything to lose. So, and this is the thing with, this is a free hit for Bournemouth, isn't it? This is just free hit.
Yeah, I heard you speak of that. And it's like, you made a good point, because it's so early in the season, and it's kind of like, I guess, appeasing or serving the fan base, right? Just promoted. Everyone's excited. Everyone wants to continue that momentum and kind of prove their they're deserving of being promoted, so they do go after it, and I think that's what makes them kind of tricky, because they're going to play with a level of braveness or or lack of fear, because it's like, what do we have to lose? We're promoted. There shouldn't be any expectations on us, so that makes them a little tricky. Um, I just also think what's going to be weird with Bournemouth, that we're going to have a difficulty deciding, and it's going to be interesting to see the lineup tomorrow. But they're playing away from home. They're playing at City, and we can't escape our reputation, right? We can't escape the fact that we hold possession, we put up goals. So because of that, Scott Parker might be like, I don't want to get embarrassed at the Etihad. So it may be a very conservative team that puts out there. So to figure this one out is gonna be tough.
The thing is, to me, if City play the game and they turn up, it should be 3 points. It just should be 3 points. Now, yeah, maybe it's the old City-itis in me, but I never go into a game with full on, right, we're going to wallop and beat them. It's just the way I am. But I look at it, and if you look last season especially, it was the early parts of the season where we sort of dropped the ball. Crystal Palace at home. We got beat at home very early in the season. Away from home, we were impeccable. Absolutely. Like I said, we've gone a year undefeated away from home. Yeah, so anytime we have a little bit of a mishap, is generally at the Etihad at the moment. There's not many. Let's put it on, mate. If City didn't get over the line tomorrow, would I be surprised? Yes. Would I be shocked? No. I'll be like, well, because saying that, I'm thinking about it and saying, but if we play I keep going back to the Haaland card, and I think if you play Haaland, you should be banging 4 and 5 past this slot as well.
Let me ask you this then. If you let the mind drift and you think of possibly not getting the result, is it because we've been outscored? Like, do you see us not getting a result?
We beat ourselves.
We beat ourselves, but would you see us not getting the 3 points that we want because we haven't scored goals?
No.
Okay. So it would have to be like a defensive mishap, like we lost concentration.
And you know what? These things can happen so early on in the season. That's why if you go back to that mini documentary that you're doing at the moment on City Plus, you hear the physio say it takes 6 or 7 games within the season to get them at full pelt. Let's put it away. Nobody had Liverpool last week drawing against Fulham.
No.
Everyone had Liverpool going to Craven Cottage and beating them. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying on this. You never know. Yeah. Listen, there's a chance. There's always a chance. But if City turn up and they play well, they beat them. Which brings me on to the team lineup. West Ham last week, for me, perfect. Inverted fullbacks. Gundogan instead of Bernardo Silva. Front 3, Foden on the right, Grealish left, Haaland through the middle. Do you see any changes to that? Or would you change it? All right, put yourself in Pep's brain and put yourself in Vator's brain.
So first thinking like Pep, I think Pep does change it. Because, like, typical to us figuring our way, finding out the best combination, Pep's going to mess around with it. Maybe not all 11, obviously, but I can see him being consistent with the defensive line. I can see him even being consistent with the midfield. But where he might, let me tinker with the forwards. Let me continue to have Haaland, because we need to, as a team, we need to be familiar with how he runs and what he likes to do. And then obviously he needs to get more consistency with how he's staying within the play. But then I could see him. I saw what you did last week, Foden on the right. Let me throw you on the left, and let me see what Mahrez can do. I can see him tinkering with that in a bit. I mean, great show and preview also on True City Fan with Patrick. It's kind of like having that idea where Pep's going to tweak something, and I think he wants to see, one, how these guys work together instinctively, and then how do these guys work with my instructions. So that's my Pep hat on. That's having my Pep hat on. For me, I actually wouldn't change anything. I'd look to play the same team last week, exact same, but I would be quicker with my substitutions. If the results were still slow to, I say slow to come, but if like a goal didn't happen in open play, right?
Yeah.
If looking at it and there was difficulty breaking down or being consistent with build up and rotating the ball and just the fluidity, if that wasn't there, I'd be quick to make subs. Because I would think another week together, you guys should be executing the way I want. And thinking of it that way, I'd be like, let me run the same thing. Let me get results sooner. And if results aren't sooner, I'm going to do subs quicker. That's my hat. That's me.
Yeah. And you know what? Subs I think will be key tomorrow, because apparently it's going to be 30 odd degrees again, which means probably down on pitch side, you're looking at probably closer to 40. You're going to have a very disrupted game because apparently there's going to be drinks breaks.
Okay.
So, do you know? And the only thing I'm saying is, you think City are in the ascendancy and they're going and they're flying, and then you get a drinks break, and you think, oh. And then Parker gets him in and goes, right, blah, 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 and off they go again. Because you're going to get bottles thrown on the pitch from the staff to the players to keep them hydrated, because it is going to be. Everyone's thinking it's going to be this quick, fast tempo. These humans, yes, they're athletes, but it's still 30 odd degrees down, 40 odd degrees down on the pitch.
Yeah.
They're still going to feel it. They're still not going to be able to go full pelt for 90 minutes. And you know what? My other thing is Pep going to say, go full throttle in this heat when we keep saying we've got a thin squad anyway?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think there'll be changes possibly. I like the idea of Foden on the right, though. I really, I've thought about it all week, and I've thought about it beforehand. And like I said to you ages ago, I thought in my head, Foden was going to go on the right. And then I took it out of my head. I thought, no, don't be stupid. He won't do that. And then he did it. And I thought, yeah, the more I've seen it, the more I liked it.
So speak on that. What specifically do you like seeing that Foden brings on that right-hand side?
I thought we had far more balance. And not only that, I looked at Mahrez on the right, and this is going to sound going in on Mahrez. Mahrez, you know, he's very predictable. You know what he's going to do. He's going to come back, check in on his left, and try and get the ball across on his left. Foden didn't. Foden was mixed it up. He was bringing the ball down. He was going in short. He was going in long. He was going to the byline. Then he was going out wide, coming inside. And there was a different bag of tricks coming out of Phil's locker. I find him a lot more versatile on the ball than I find Riyad Mahrez. And I'm not digging out Mahrez saying he's crap. I just find Mahrez very one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. And that is that is where I think Foden. Not only that, I think in a way you're not asking Walker to do as much bang up the field as what you probably would want to do. Because if you look, you can still do that inverted wingers again. If you wanted to do that. Don't think it works as much with Mahrez on the right, because Mahrez is already inverted and is a one-trick pony. So I don't think Mahrez is versatile enough to allow Walker to nip into the midfield, because Mahrez won't come back. Mahrez won't run back in the dirt. Foden will. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I like the Foden thing, because it opens up so many doors, so many options. so many different avenues. Sometimes with Mahrez, we go down cul-de-sacs that are just dead ends. And then you're having to rinse, repeat, and go back again. So, saying that, I just keep thinking, Bernardo Silva will be the wild card. Does he play him? Because he doesn't play him, that will just start all the wild rumours of he's going. So, it's what you do. But Pep won't be bothered about that. He won't be bothered about that crap. Pep will go. Pep will pick the best team for the day. Haaland will be the interesting one for me. And I said this on Patrick's show about half an hour ago. Pep said you go back 2 weeks, Pep said he wanted to manage Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
Is that managing him knowing he can have some injuries? Do you go, right, bang, Haaland straight out the chute? Or do you go, we're going to rest you, bring you on at half time and give Alvarez a run out? Because we've now got 2 strikers who can come in.
Yeah.
Alvarez is very different to Haaland. Very different. A lot more, he's very versatile. That's why we love Pep. He's so unpredictable on what he could do.
Yeah, I think
I can see him playing Haaland, but I can see him resting him to game managing.
Yeah. I think you brought up a point, even with regards to the Heat, that had me laughing, because then I'm thinking in the future with this World Cup and how that Heat's going to be insane. But with Haaland and the Heat that you just described, maybe it is a case where the subs happen a little quicker because Pep's already shown to interchange them, right? Like I forget the minute that Haaland was subbed off, but maybe that happens a little quicker for this game, given the Heat, and like you said, Pep's already made it clear that he's going to manage them. And when he says manage, I think it's managing not only the amount of play time that they have, but even what I kind of said a little earlier too, is it's managing expectations with these guys. Like I noticed in Pep's presser that from a reporter standpoint, they kept wanting to talk about Haaland. What makes him? You've coached so many great players. What is it in Haaland that you see? What's so fantastic? And Pep answered the question, but he also made sure to include Foden. He made sure to include Alvarez as he talked about special players and abilities. And I love that. So I think that's the combination of management that he's going to continue to do, not only on the pitch, but with how players are going to be talked about and treated.
I think he'll get there with that.
Yeah, I think he'll get there. Yeah.
I think he'll get there with that front three. As a combination, I don't think it's straight away as a combination.
Exactly.
It's a build to that combination of Alvarez, Haaland, Foden.
Yeah, it's like foreshadowing that will, yes, that those three are going to be deadly moving forward. And I think he's going to kind of like do combos of 2 and mix and match throughout how things go. But I think for us and how we're now looking to play more consistently with the striker, I think he's going to want to keep Haaland there as much as possible. Yes, he's going to manage him, but let's keep that consistency so we know how he runs and we know how he reads the game so that we can all be on the same page. So Haaland's going to be consistent. You like Foden on the right. I like Foden on the right too. But I could see him. Let me see what Foden does on his natural left side. And let me see if Mahrez is going to put in the work that he saw Foden put in last week. So if I can have that consistency, because this inverted fullback dynamic, and it's nothing new. Pep's done it and tried it before. He's had success with it before, but it was also like, and it took a while for this to actually click in for me, but it was the first game of the season. He did not show this in the Community Shield. But the first game of the season was like, I've been thinking all summer about this. Let me debut it. Let me kick it off. And I don't think, tactically it made perfect sense against Fulham, but I think it's also something that he's like racking his brain about and bringing a dynamic that he wants to perfect. So it's a shiny toy for him. It's a shiny system. I think we'll see that again.
It's how it looked with Alvarez. I think he wants to be careful as well. As a young lad, just come out of South America, I think he's probably thinking, dip him. He did say it actually. We go back a couple. He did say he's going to let him adapt. He's going to take time. Alvarez is one for the next 5, 6, 10 years. I don't mean he's going to eventually play. I mean, he can play now, but you've got this kid for 10 years. Let him develop it. You can't expect Aguero in the first 2 games, bang, away you go.
Exactly. And even when he came on board in early release and, the unveiling and everything like that, and the fact that they included him with our Argentinian greats, right? Yeah. Zabaleta and Aguero and Tevez. I was like, slow down. He's definitely going to be a great player. And Pep's going to manage it properly.
I mean, we talked about the bench, but obviously the one thing I want to mention here, without Calvin Phillips and without Palmer, our bench tomorrow is a 5-man bench, unless you bring in the EDS. You've got Ortega, Stones. If we go off last week, Ortega, Stones, Bernardo, Alvarez, Mahrez.
Yeah, Espran.
You can add Espran and better.
Yeah.
So you have a 7-man bench. Because right now with those 2 injured, we're at a 15-man squad of outfield players. I'm not including Carson Edison and Ortega in that because the goalkeepers. I'm talking specifically outfield. You're at 15 players. Obviously, we've just on the verge of signing this Gomez, which we will go into. A couple have asked about the new signing. I will mention on that as well. So I'd love to make his points on this. Is that a concern for you of only having 7 game in and already having to have a shortened bench now?
It is because it's not what you want to see. Like it's not. No. It's depth that it's such a short depth that you don't want to see that, and you never want to think the worst. But hey, it's extreme heat. Maybe if it is like a slight tough tackle or injury, you just want to be able to like even do a cautious sub, and to know that that's a depth we have. It is concerning. I think if we continue to just be our possession type team, then we alleviate the hard work in terms of the running around. So the heat will actually affect the team that's defending more because they're chasing. So if we can have our typical City possession, I'd be happy for that. And then,
well, I can imagine that. I think we can safely say we're probably going to have 78-80% possession. We can slow the game to our pace.
Yeah, and you brought up a great point. You've been pointing out, and I didn't realize this, but pointing out what Aston Villa did, having more possession the week before, then I would say City should follow suit and continue that. Yeah. So that'd be great because then they're chasing, not us, and then being tired or nicks that happens when you're actually chasing the ball down. But yeah, I'm wishing for an uneventful game in the sense of like challenges or falls or any of that because we are thin.
But it does suit Pep to an extent of he doesn't have to upset players, if you know what I mean now. And this comes back to maybe this is why he wants a small squad of I'm not going to have 7, 8 players down my ear roll because Josh Wilson-Espand isn't going to go at him about playing.
Right.
And neither is better. They're just going to be happy to be involved within the first team experience. Mm-hmm. You know, even from the build up to the pre-game, the game to the post-game, they're just gaining experience doing that. It's other, you know, I suppose when you had the like Sterling, Jesus, and Zinchenko all on the bench, they're like, boss, play me, boss, play me, boss, play me. When we're coming on, you know, when I managed under 7s all the way up to 19s, I used to hate going up and down the touchline because I had the kids down here. Get me on, I'll score a goal. And you're like, shut up and let me manage. And I'm not saying they're doing that down his ear, but you can imagine it's still happening.
Yeah.
Get me on.
Yeah. I think he's probably, in a weird way, he's probably happy that, you know, some of these players aren't available because of recovering from injury.
It's less of a headache.
Exactly. It's a couple less names that are like trying to catch his eye and trying to get that playing time. But you know what? I think because of this is going to sound wild, but because it's so early in the season, you want to start off as consistent and all on the same page as possible. So maybe it's easy for Pep to say, you aren't part of the 11 because of what I'm seeing in practice right now, regardless of who you are. So if we do see a different, or if we end up seeing the same 11 from last week to this week, maybe it is Pep's just like, no, these are the guys showing more consistency, so I'm playing. And in all fairness, the exit that we've had from some of our past players has been because they know rotation happens to everybody. No one's above the law with regards to being for not being played, whether it's tactics or whether it's availability.
Yeah. Good evening, Andrew. How are you, mate? Mary Ducks here saying, I think we need 2 more squad signings in addition to Gomez. We will touch on Gomez. I just want to finish on this Bournemouth section, mate, and then we'll chivate his ear on that. So, goalkeeper, I'm presuming Edison goes in for you.
I think so. I don't think we're seeing Ortega until the cup run, until the cup match.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest with you.
Back line, same as last week, or would you throw Johnny in?
No. I know he's available, and he was on the bench last week, but oh crap! I didn't look ahead to see who we play week 3. Is it a big match?
I'm sure we've got Forest. Is it Forest and Newcastle? You know what? You're throwing me up, mate.
I think it is Newcastle.
Me on the spot here. I didn't even. We've got Newcastle next Sunday.
Yeah, Stones isn't playing. No, Stones isn't playing. I think it's gonna be the same back four. I think it's actually gonna be the same midfield.
Forest is 31st. So yeah, it's it's Newcastle next week. So same back four.
You see that changing?
Me? Do I not think?
You see the back four changing?
No.
Okay. So we agree.
Doesn't deserve to be dropped. And I think he'll go. I think he'll just be Walker, Diaz, Ake, Cancelo. Rodri, I think he'll play. And then I think it'll be Gundogan. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I can see the same 11 that will bang out against them.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing because there's just a fluidity and consistency I think that Pep wants before he tweaks, before he makes some subs. But I see the same 11, and honestly, the quotes were great, right? We heard Antonio, we heard Moyes all talk about so unexpected, right? I think he does it again. And I think he does it again to see what this manager may do to try and counter it before he changes something. Pep's already has a counter in his head, but he's going to wait and see what the opposing team does. So I think he runs it again and give the team a better chance to perfect it.
Right. I've just checked someone put it in the chat. It is actually true. Pep's, obviously, the embargo section has come out of his press conference.
Okay.
He did say in his press conference they were going to look at another left back. But apparently now, according to Jack Gordon and Simon Bajowski, I'll read you. Jack Gordon said, Guardiola said, forget about City signing another left back after Gomez. Liked him to Zinchenko. Likened him, sorry. Perfect for how they want to play. City won't sign anyone else this transfer window unless there's any departures.
Unless there's any departures. The fine print. I'll be honest with you. I'm disappointed, I thought
if that's it. That's it. I think we're short.
Yeah.
I think we're short. I really do. And which bring, I mean, before we jump into that, so we're going with the same team. If I had to put you on the spot with score prediction, where you at tomorrow?
Three. I think we should expect a clean sheet. I'd say 3-0.
Okay.
3-0, and not. This is gonna sound wild, and you know how we used to have the spell where we'd be watching games and it was just like I should never say this, but an expected goal in the first 8-10 minutes. There was that type of run that we were doing. I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but I see a control game 3-0.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0.
I think it'll be very. I do think the heat will play a major factor into today's game. Okay. I don't think. I think City's stupid if they go out all guns blazing, because I think you're just opening yourselves to injuries, opening yourselves to fatigue in this heat. I think it's just going to be a very professional job tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong and we batter them 6-0.
Same here.
What I'm saying is, I'll take a conservative 2-0 quiet now and see you later and move on. I just would. Right.
Are you paying any attention to any other clubs with regards to wins and losses at this stage?
No, it's too early. Far too early.
I agree.
Too early. Because otherwise you'd have half of Liverpool in meltdown right
I
now.
mean, there's a few there's a few rival fans right now that are already.
Yeah. I mean, Chelsea are probably going to win the league again. Arsenal are now title contenders. This is the beauty of football. You always get the start of the season and pre-season. You always get pre-season, but everyone gets excited at pre-season. Everyone's talking about Gabriel Jesus as though he's prime Ronaldo. Everyone's talking about Zinchenko as though he's prime Maldini. Everyone's talking about Sterling as though he's. It's like, come on, it's pre-season. Let's just relax, calm down, let the pieces fall where they need. Because even though it looks like we're done now in the window, which I'm not going to lie, pisses me off quite a lot. I'm not going to lie, it peeves me off. But other teams are going to spend. United aren't done. United are going to spend.
Yeah.
Chelsea will spend. Arsenal are trying to get 1 or 2 more in. So, yeah. This is why I don't do anything. I don't make predictions before I let it. I never look at the league table for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Agreed. Yeah. I don't like making predictions until this transfer window's closed. That's my typical approach. But it's funny on how the urgency seems to happen sooner and sooner every year with some of these fans that as of like the transfer window, they've made decisions on who's winning. The first game of the season, they've made decisions on who's winning. It just
you carry on talking. I've just
it just goes too extreme, and I think it does show the age for some of the fans as well. I think for the doom and gloom so early in some of these seasons.
The problem is, if you say anything in negative connotation, or that's not happy clapping, you get called panicking and moaning.
Yeah.
And you're a doom and gloom merchant. If so, you can't win either way.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be optimistic. I'll be concerned, but yeah, to go before things have actually been concluded, to then already be so adamant that the worst is going to happen, I don't go that far. Let's wait until this transfer window. But do you think could it be a little bit of mind games? Could it be a little bit of I'm not showing that I have any needs in this transfer window from a City standpoint. So if I'm due, if there are inquiries, that nothing gets overpriced.
Well, everyone's gone 5-0, 3-0, 5-0. They're expecting us to spank tomorrow. I mean, City, as we know, they're about to sign Gomez, who's a young lad from Anderlecht who has come out of the Barcelona Academy, La Masia, went to Borussia Dortmund, played like one game for Barcelona, played 2 games for Borussia Dortmund, and now has played 50 games for Anderlecht in the short time he's been there. I think it was 38, 39 games he played last season.
Okay.
But I don't know a lot about him. I don't buy into this thing of fullbacks don't have to defend. I find that, I know other people have, and that's a difference of opinion. I don't even think it's nothing to do with modern football. I know for a fact if I went back and did my FA coaching badge, I know they're teaching my fullbacks how to defend. They're not teaching them to run up the bloody wing all day and never defend. They're just not. That's not it will ever happen. That's why every team still has defensive coaches. I understand the game has evolved and developed, but you still have to be able to defend. You've got to have that, even if it's defensive brain-minded in terms of knowing when to run with the space.
100%.
Now, if Gomez is it, then I'm worried. Because how do you go from Cucurella, Lode to Gomez?
Yeah.
That is a massive gap. If you're telling me Cucurella and Lode, and it's been confirmed we did inquire for Lode, we couldn't get any done. How do you go from that to Gomez? Mm-hmm. That's not like going from Cucurella to Antinori or Nori at Wolves or a Guerrero thing. That's like going from, we might as well have kept Angelino.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Listen,
I know. I hear what you're saying. I think
I'm not trying to down the kid. I'm not trying to say the kid's bad. The kid will be fantastic. I've no doubt because City know what they're doing. But it's very A to Z, I like to call it. To go from Cucurella and Lodi to Gomez.
Yeah, my level of study that still needs to happen with regards to that position is just the range of pass. Like, I understand that it's not looking for a complete lockdown defender on that left-hand side. I understand that. But the combination or the acceptance for not being that strong defensively has to be because of what they bring offensively. So I want to know what the range of pass is. Is it the ability to maybe have that early cross, or is it the distance that they can give switching the pitch, maybe because we know Mar is going to hug that right side of the field. Is it switching play? Because, be honest with you, I noticed that Grealish as well as Cancelo fell a little short with some of those passes that I saw last week. Is it looking for a player like that? I don't quite know. But if we pass on those players that you mentioned,
someone else has been on someone else's stream. But when have I ever said I wanted Wan-Bissaka?
I've never heard it. I've never heard it. No, I've never heard it. But a lockdown defender with no offensive strengths is not what we're looking for. I hear you totally.
Andy Robertson defends.
Yeah, I would say he's the better one between the two.
Carvajal at Real Madrid defends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because they attack doesn't mean then they don't defend.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, listen, I haven't seen Gomez play. I've watched a YouTube clip for 5 minutes. So that's all I know.
Yeah,
I
gotta do my homework as well.
I can't sort of judge on that. He may be wonderful. I just think right now I look at it and go from Cucurella to that to Gomez is a massive difference.
Yeah.
Massive difference.
I agree.
I think Gomez is similar to Angelino. That was I'm quite worried. It is a risk, but it's 10 million quid, so it's not really a gamble. It's not a gamble. Hey, Daniel, no. I was always on the Diaz train, sunshine. Ask anybody in here. I was always on the Diaz train. I was the guy who wanted Diaz before anyone had even mentioned Diaz. I wanted Diaz. I mentioned it on a previous channel I was on. We'll ignore that because I told this guy yesterday, if he's not happy, he can always leave. Yeah, if you wanted Stones out. Yeah, we'll get onto that next summer, Andrew. That's my hope. Right, it comes down to if that is it, I'm happy. Are you happy if that's it right now? Books closed. Are you happy?
If that's I'll be honest with you. I wanted here's where the flexibility can come in. Because I'm the one that believes Cancelo's doing his part for the club, playing on the left-hand side, but he is to be on that right-hand side. And the backup that we had between him and Walker is ideal. So I'm one of the few, I think, that I was pretty interested in 2 left backs coming in. Because I think the coverage we have is then completely there. We got our 2 on the right, we got our 2 on the left, and then we have an EDS youth player that can come in if one of those bodies happen to fail us. So I wanted that, and then I'd be greedy to want another right winger possibly, but I want surety, I want certainty in that defensive line, and then maybe it's just because of what I experienced last season, right? Like we saw so many bodies fall during the crunch time of the season last year, so maybe I'm overreacting, but
for some reason everyone's going about KK. Alan's put no, you didn't. See, the difference is I've got video evidence of when I said about Diaz. I was on the Koulibaly train, but I've also got video evidence of me saying I wanted Diaz because I said
you're gonna have
Diaz.
to pull up those receipts.
Those
in the chat got to pull up the receipts.
Charlie will absolutely back me up that I said Skriniar and Diaz, and I've got video evidence as well. See, there's the difference. I've got all the videos all still. There we go. No, I said Diaz as well, Stephen. Like I said, I can post a link of the video. Listen, Gomez, I'm no issue with. It's just last week he wanted, this guy was going on about going out on loan to now he's our main left back. Do you know what I mean? It's just, maybe it's that, I don't know. But if that's the end of it, good. Now, like you said, any departures, is that the Bernardo Silva issue?
I hate that fine print that Pep had to throw out there, but
when I read that, your face went, ugh.
Yeah, because I want to put to rest. I don't want it reoccurring, right? But if Bernardo does go, there is no, and I'm holding my hands up here. There's no way we replace him with a player that's going to be as effective. There's no one coming in that's going to be able to like continue on or fit right in and do what we want. So if that happens, Pep is going to have to show his brilliance again, managing, coaching the team without Silva. Like he's just going to have to do it. So I don't want to have to dream about that possibility. I don't want that to be the case. Like Bernardo can get a thank you. You've been amazing for the club. Wish you all the best next season. I'd prefer that, but no, let's not have any more departures, please. Sorry, just let me get rid of this idiot. No worries. He just wants to be offensive for some weird reason. Yeah. Listen, I think we'll just wait and see.
it's going. I think it is going to throw some of the City community into a bit of a panic. People will start. Why has Pep said this? Because I'm telling you now, I heard the interview. He did say he wasn't ruling out a left back. They were still in the market. And then 5 hours later, they're done. That makes no sense. That's very weird. Because he did say that, because I listened to it. I suppose we'll see. But tomorrow's game, I can't wait to be back at the ETIHAD in this sunshine, a packed house. I cannot wait.
So you're going to be able to make the game?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm there tomorrow.
Awesome.
There will be a post-match as well tomorrow night. We don't know when. I will let you know. But there will be a post-match. I think you said you might be on. You might not be on. You're going to let me know.
I think I can make it
again tomorrow.
But I want to know this. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oof! Don't put me on the spot.
No, I have to. No matter what, however you need to work it with your schedule next week, but I have to hear about the first home game experience. So I'll find a flexible day and time, but we got to do a home and away with you because I need to hear about the first home game.
Yeah, said that. I'm going to bubble. By the way, if you are not subscribed to Mate Games TV, please go and do it. Absolute amazing. And all City channels, go and give them a watch. True City did a great show earlier on. The City Extra, there's Steve and everyone. Please get over there and give them all a watch. We're all Blues. We're all a big community. We're all a big family. But please make sure you give this a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please do. We're on the march to 1,000. We are back tomorrow night. If VATOR hopefully will make it. I know Rich is looking at coming back, and we'll be back. Keep an eye on the socials at Horsey City. I will try and get some footage of the ETIHAD in and out, because like someone said, there's now a DJ stand. No, I will not be going to the DJ stand. Bloody DJ. I thought the DJs were Champions League nights. We're now doing it in bloody league games.
But that's got to be in the family stands, right? That's got to be in the family
No, it's in the South stand, thank God.
No.
Yeah, thank God it's in the... Not having a DJ anyway, bloody DJ. Going to a football match, not going to a bloody rave.
I gotta hear about this. Oh, we're gonna talk about this next week. This is gonna be great.
I'll talk about that on your home and away, because I've got a big rant on that. I don't get it. I don't get all this. It's not the Super Bowl. We'll be having a halftime show next. That's 20 minutes long. I don't get it. We'll have Madonna coming out half naked. With Janet Jackson and everything else. Charlie, have a wonderful holiday, mate. Tenerife, you'll have a blast. Get over to Cyan Park, mate. You'll enjoy yourself. Take your sunblock. Probably watch the game on TV. It'll be about 10, half 10-ish tomorrow. Keep an eye on that Horsey City, Stephen. We'll let you. Yeah, it's in the South Stand, mate. I'm in the family stand tomorrow. So there you go. You know I'm in the family stand. That's where my season ticket is. Thank you, Muddy Duck. We'll cry together about the short squad. Let everyone else be happy. Yeah, thank you all so much. Please get over VATOR Games TV. Amazing show. Go and give it a subscribe, as well all the other City channels. We'll see you soon tomorrow. I predicted a City win. VATOR's predicted a City win. And let's hope City can burn through Bournemouth tomorrow. Should be a cracker. See you tomorrow night.
Thanks for having me, man.
Take care, mate. Thank you.